Well, hello, everyone, or one of you. I hope people come to join us at Let's Talk News today. And I'm going to tell you why. Because something went awry with Facebook, and I wasn't able to notify people that we were going live today. And since sometimes we're live, sometimes we're at this time or that time. We may have a very quiet audience tonight. I hope not, because there's a lot of things going on. Hi, Kevin. Well, at least it's you and me, Kevin. So that's good. We can talk about what's going on with Donald Trump and with the farmers. Hello, Francine. Good to have you with us. So stuff is happening, and stuff is also happening with the Democrats losing their minds over these double tap drug boat stuff. I mean, I don't understand it. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know, but I wouldn't want to die on that hill. I would not want to be the ones offending um, drug importers. I just can't imagine that middle America is, upset that Trump is actually stopping drugs from coming into the country. Because it's not just the drug addicts, right? It's their families, it's their extended families. We've had a war on drugs in this country for, decades and decades. And I mean, the 1980s was dedicated to the war on drugs. And, somehow or another, all of a sudden, we're going to start protecting drug cartels? I don't think so. Hello, Mama. Good to have you. So, anyway, it's do tell me what you think. I mean, do you have empathy or sympathy in your heart for these boats that are running drugs, whether it's into our country or Europe or wherever? Do you are you sympathizing with these cartel members that are being blown out of the water? Do you think that somehow or another that double tap was illegal? And I don't care. I mean, I want to hear what you have to say. I have my own opinion, but we have mixed messages. But a message that isn't mixed is from Adam Schiff, who was on the news shows this weekend. And I want to show you what Schiff had to say about the double tap. Listen.
Based on what you know, do you believe these boat strikes are legal?
No, I don't. They're unlawful, they're unconstitutional, and killing two people who are shipwrecked at sea is also morally repugnant. I agree with Tom. We should do everything lawfully that we can to stop the scourge of drugs coming into this country, but this is not at all lawful or constitutional. And frankly, if the Pentagon and our defense secretary is so proud of what they're doing, let the American people see that video. Let the American people see two people standing on a capsized boat or sitting on a capsized boat and deliberately killed, and decide for themselves whether they're proud of what their country is doing. I can't imagine people will be proud of that. And as you pointed out, the Manual on the Law of War makes it explicit that killing people who are shipwrecked is illegal, is a violation of law. And the most troubling thing I heard from Senator Cotton was when he said he really didn't matter what these people were doing on that capsized boat, whether they were signaling their distress and asking for rescue or what they were doing. It does matter. It does matter. And, one point I would share with him, and that is, I also think that all of these strikes are unlawful. They're a form of extrajudicial killing. These boats are not invading the United States in an armed assault. They're thousands of miles away. Some of them, maybe even this vessel, if reports are accurate, wasn't even heading to the United States. And for us to be engaged in this kind of unauthorized campaign of extrajudicial killing couldn't be, I think, a more clear violation of the law.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Number one, They're shipwrecked. They were just shipwrecked individuals. They just happened to be shipwrecked, floating out at sea. And all of a sudden, the American military comes along and decides to bomb them. What? What is he talking about? Now, this is the narrative they're going with now. These are they're shipwrecked individuals. No reason for their shipwreck. And oh, by the way, the drugs weren't even going to America. Francine says, what sane person would have sympathy? They are killing people with drugs. Well, apparently, Adam Schiff thinks that that's perfectly okay. Hello, Colleen Mahoney. Good to have you. So now they're not drug runners. They're shipwrecked people, and they're not armed. So yeah, Bob Romero says the weasel. My husband hates Adam Schiff, hates him. But I mean, how stupid do they think the American people are? I mean, truly, their voters must be so gullible, and they are. We know that they are so gullible, but there are others that are gullible. But let's just talk about this for a minute. So these drug cartel members weren't even armed. Oh, really? Oh, how do you know that? Are you telling me that these guys are in a boat filled with millions of dollars worth of drugs and they don't have any guns? Yeah, I think the Somali pirates would, if that was the case, they would have taken those drugs a long time ago, right? So yeah, no, they were armed. And to say that they were posing a threat to America is so disingenuous and so insane. I'm going to just say it. Adam Schiff is insane. He's absolutely insane. Hello, Andrew Dorman. So it's okay to let the boats bring drugs to other countries. They want citizens of other countries to die from drugs. Absolutely. We should, our allies, right? We should let our allies, we should not protect our allies, right? Weren't they the same ones that were saying, oh, our allies, Donald Trump is not helping our allies with all of these tariffs? Weren't they saying that? He's putting tariffs on our allies. What kind of a president does that? It's insane. It's absolute insanity. And, if in case you didn't see it, I'll show you another narrative. Remember when they said that they were just fishermen out there, and Donald Trump's military was bombing boats that were just fishermen? Well, this is a little bit tongue in cheek, but watch.
¡Manos arriba! ¡Atrás del barco! ¡Atrás del barco! ¡Aprete! Nobody move, stand! Don't move! Call me whenever.
So what kind of fish were those, do you think? I've had it. And I hope everybody else has had it too, because the insanity that is going on now in this country is at a new level. It's just at a new level. I mean, the world is just upside down. Does anybody else feel like the world is upside down? I just don't know how to address this. And I wake up, and sometimes I wake up with a headache because I just don't understand what the hell is going on. I saw a meme for today's trick. DJT will make the left defend drug cartels. Well, that's what they're doing, right? I mean, it's like when Garcia there, Abrego Garcia, the Maryland dad, member of, was it Trinidad Aragua or some other gang, and we had Tim Kaine going down having margaritas with him. I mean, we really do. Bob is yelling. MS-13. God bless him. He's got a memory. He remembers everything. But still, why? What has happened here? It's like the Democrats are they are all of a sudden protecting child sex traffickers. They have no problem whatsoever with the fact that hundreds of thousands of children went missing under Biden. Trump has now recovered 65,000 children, but they have no problem whatsoever with the fact that that these children went missing under Biden. They didn't want to talk about it. But now the New York Times has finally gotten their shit together, right? And they're starting to report on it. And they're starting to say, oh, you know what? A lot of illegal migrants came to this country under Biden. I wonder why. I wonder why they let it happen. This is the New York Times. In 2025, now that Trump has stopped the flood at the border, all of a sudden the New York Times, the gray lady, the one that all the news that's fit to print and only the facts, they're now finally acknowledging that we had a border crisis under Biden. The interesting thing is about, listen, first of all, I want to applaud them for catching up, right? they finally caught up. But they actually fucked themselves. And I'm going to tell you how. Yeah, bizarro world. Hello, Tony. Those far lefties lost in space Dems. Tony, right? You're a Democrat. You were a Democrat for many years. You know the Democrat Party inside and out. They've gone so far left that they're lost. Oh, John Cooper's back. Socialist Trump giving farmers $12 billion for the second time. John, that came from tariffs, dear. The $12 billion came from tariffs. So that's called negotiation, and that's called good business sense. Because what Trump was doing with China decided to stop buying soybeans from us because they didn't like the fact that we wanted reciprocal tariffs. So Trump said, well, I'm not going to let my businesses die. So I will take the tariff money that I've collected and I'm going to give it to them so they can get on their feet. That's not called socialism, darling. That is called boosting an economy. Let's see, investment in the future. So you got to get with it, John. I know you're almost right there. You're almost smart, John, but not all the way. So what happened with the New York Times? So they wait until 2025 to acknowledge that there was a border crisis under Biden. And what it did was it allowed Trump to make the border the number one issue. Had the New York Times reported on it properly back, I don't know, let's say in 2021, when Biden got rid of all of Trump's border protections, and then the floodgates opened and everybody came in. Well, if they reported on it then there would have been a conversation and the Democrats would have had to do something about it. And who knows, right? He had both houses. Maybe we could have gotten something through Congress, but that didn't happen. And so Trump was able to make it into an issue because it remained an issue for 4 years. And that's how he won, right? So stupid people who they wanted to play the game of let's help elect Democrats because we're lunatic liberals, but they fucked themselves. And that's what they do over and again. DSA shook the Dems and they are little bitches now. You're absolutely right. And it seems like there's Tony. It seems like that's still happening. I mean, how is it that Adam Schiff is out there? Did you hear the Adam Schiff? I don't know if you joined late or what. Did you hear Adam Schiff talk? I'll play just the first part of it because you've got to hear what Schiff is doing to defend the drug cartels. You just got to listen to this for a second for anybody that didn't see it already.
Based on what you know, do you believe these boat strikes are legal?
No, I don't. They're unlawful. They're unconstitutional. And killing two people who are shipwrecked at sea is also morally repugnant. I agree with
I'm talking to nobody. Sorry. So there are two people just shipwrecked. And later on, he goes on to say that these boats weren't even headed towards America. So, why did Trump stop them? And also, that they weren't armed. That's what he said. They weren't armed. So, yes, these drug cartels, millions of dollars worth of cocaine, and they go on the water, or heroin or fentanyl, whatever they have. And they go without being armed. My ass. He really, see, like our friend John would eat that shit up. John Cooper, he would eat up what Adam Schiff is saying. So, Adam Schiff thinks that all of the people of America are as stupid as the people that listen to him. You can't make that up. No, you can't. I know. Sorry about that. That's because I cut the clip short. I'm figuring it out. It's kind of hard, at least when I had Jennifer here, I was kind of chatting and she was talking a little bit so I could do the producing. But I'm a one-woman show now, so it's hard. So, yeah, shipwreck. That's what I'm saying. Go to Adam Schiff's Twitter, X, whatever, and get that clip. That clip is amazing. I'm going to play it over and over and over again because nobody will believe it. And I might play it again during the show. Yes, exactly. Unreal. Because the people that follow him are stupid. Just like our friend John here, right? Who said that, Trump gave $12 billion to the farmers for a second time, and that was socialism. No. Different world, but they don't know any better. And I used to think John was a kid. He's actually my age. And it scares me that the education system in this country has failed. Each boat is estimated to carry 8 million in drugs. Yeah. Michael, and they're not armed. According to him, to Schiff, they weren't armed and they weren't coming to America. They were just shipwrecked. They were shipwrecked and they were floating on the water, and our military went out there. And that was it. So that's Adam Schiff. That's what he is selling to the poor fools that follow him. But since John gave us the opening, I want to play a clip of Trump talking to farmers. Okay, so as John rightly said, he gave them a $12 billion, it's called a bridge funding. So he took it from the income from the tariffs and he's giving it to the farmers because China is trying to strangle us and make us reduce the tariffs by not buying soybeans from us. Well, Trump is smarter than your average bear. So he has devised this plan to have these farmers have this bridge subsidy, it's called. And he's going to keep on feeding them the money until we get on our feet here. You're going to see there's going to be all kinds of things. There's going to be loans for startup warehouses. There already are. And the fact that he is now, clawed back some of the money that was going overseas is allowing him to do it. And remember, he hasn't even made a budget yet. The wonderful thing about this is that whatever Trump has been doing, he has been doing it still on Biden's budget. Okay. So Trump hasn't even made a budget yet. His budget comes out in January. So it's going to be really, really good. We need the courts. The courts have to do the right thing for tariffs. They have to. They have to see what he's doing and they have to do the right thing. But at any rate, if they're unarmed, how do they row the boat? Love Michael Cox. That's a good one, Michael. Hold on a second. We have to give you this. Excellent. We have our own in-house comedian because I don't know where Deb is. She probably didn't get the notification. Okay, so let's just take a look. It's a long clip, but start banging on the keyboard if you don't want to hear the whole thing. I think it's interesting. So listen.
I'll tell you, I think the rice industry thanks you sincerely for what you have done for the California rice market and to Japan. It has been monumental for our industry, but us in the South are really struggling. I mean, this is not just a crisis. I would say it's almost a market dynamics that really are true anti-competitive nature, right? So it follows what you sent out this weekend. And we do believe that countries are dumping rice into this country today. We've never seen imports this great.
Which countries?
India, Thailand, even China into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico used to be one of the largest markets for U.S. rice. We haven't shipped rice into Puerto Rico in years. So this has been happening for years. This didn't start during your administration, but unfortunately, we're seeing it in a much bigger way now. The tariffs are working, but we need to double down because
you want more. I mean,
they're cheating, right? They're they're just subsidizing and then
India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal. So
yeah, but they should be dumping. I mean, I heard that from others. So you can't do that.
There's a WTO case against India
now.
Give
me the countries, if you could. Go ahead. India. Who else?
So India.
Mark it down. What'd you say?
Yes, sir.
India, Thailand, China into Puerto Rico, not into continental U.S., but into Puerto Rico. Those are the main culprits.
So Puerto Rico used to do a lot of business, and now you
100%. Puerto Rico was U.S. based.
All right.
And
so easy to settle. Okay.
But there's others too, and I can get you a full list.
Give me a full list. Yeah.
Of course I can.
All right.
So.
Go ahead.
So truly, this is a national security issue. I think you put it just perfectly. And so I want for all of us in the room to know that rice is more than just a commodity. It's a currency in many of these countries.
And you love rice, right?
I love rice. Yes, I'm going to get you to love rice too. The next time you're not going to have a button for a Coke, you're going to have a button for a rice. But
farmers love what they do.
Yeah, that's true. Well, our farmers can feed this nation and many nations abroad, but we need fair trade, not free trade. Yeah. And so we appreciate what you've done today. We appreciate what you did in the big, beautiful bill. I mean, my word, you really changed reference prices, and we're hopeful that we can even move that further. I know that rice prices right now are the lowest they've been in over 40 years, so we're going to struggle. We're going to max out on our payments probably. So that's something that I know those in Congress can potentially help us with to change. But again, we appreciate everything you're doing.
That's solved so quickly with tariffs to these countries that are illegally shipping. It's solved. Your problem is solved in one day. Mm-hmm. That's why we have to win the Supreme Court case. Mm-hmm.
Try it again. That's why we have to win the Supreme Court case. Tariffs is his negotiating linchpin, and if the Supreme Court takes that away from him, and they shouldn't be able to take it away from him, but if they do, we are in the economy is going to just be disastrous. I mean, if anybody could fix it, it would be him, but he's relying heavily on these tariffs. And he would have to get Congress to approve them quickly, which he should, and he could. 2 months ago, the Dems were crying that the tariffs destroyed the farmers. Now they're crying because Trump is funneling money back to the farmers. Well, it changes every day, Colleen. You're absolutely right. No matter what he does, the Dems will complain. And they do complain. I mean, it's amazing to me that they think that their words all over social media and the internet don't live forever, or they don't care. I'm not sure. Cowboys are allowed to keep their hats on inside. Yes, they are. They are allowed to keep their hats on. In case you didn't see that press conference today, you should go look at it, and you should see how respectful and how appreciative they all were. I mean, one of the things she said was that Trump made a deal with Japan to buy rice from us. That's huge, right? That's huge. The other thing she said is that we can feed ourselves, which we can. So Trump is trying to write an overturn ship here. I mean, somehow or another, America lost its course. And, I guess I guess we're on, since we're talking about boats, we might as well keep with that analogy. But somewhere America lost her course, and we stopped making anything. We stopped doing anything. Supposedly we were all, intellectual properties, but now we don't even have that because the schools have sucked the brain power out of our kids, and these legal drugs everywhere in the sex and the just pervasive rot of our ego, of our morals, right? No family anymore. No father in the house. Parents divorced, how many times, remarrying. Most importantly, no God and no country. Those are the two top ones, right? God and country, and then family. I mean, so the Dems have erased those things. And, I keep on asking why, to what end? And, we've talked about it on this program, and I know that a lot of the senators are talking about it. I know they're talking about it in Congress. It's clearly to drive down the wage. And Biden actually got it done, right? The wage was really, really dropping. All throughout the Biden administration. Now under Trump, the wages going up, and the elite, the global elite, do not like that, because at the end of the day, the pesky Americans and our human rights and our demand for fair wages is what's destroying them and their companies, or their ability to make money. I can't understand it. I can't understand why we would want this. I understand why our enemies would want to undermine us, but it's not just us, right? It's happening in Europe. I mean, look at the UK. It doesn't even resemble itself anymore. The UK has gotten rid of all of the countries that it colonized, right? Basically, and it shed everything, and now the country of the United Kingdom isn't even the country of the United Kingdom anymore. They don't make anything. They don't do anything. And they're run by foreigners who are now transplanted into their country. Very interesting, very distressing, because only countries that we are so worried about being politically correct are being torn asunder. You're not seeing this stuff happening with Africa. You're not seeing this stuff happening with Guam or South America. You're only seeing it happen here. You're certainly not seeing it happen in Russia. So you're seeing it happen here and in Europe, and in Canada to some extent. So we really have a problem. Hello, Kevin Young. Thanks for joining us. So let's recap the hysteria that is happening, because now the Democrats are saying that drug cartels are shipwreck victims, and that Trump is blowing them out of the water, and they're just fishermen. And now they're complaining too that Trump using tariff money to support our farmers is socialism. And you can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I thank you for spending a half an hour with me. I am going to do my best every night to get us out of here in a half an hour. Like I said, go back and watch that video in the White House or on YouTube. I think also NBC had it, or ABC. I love you all. Thank you. I will see you tomorrow night. We're going to have plenty to talk about because Trump is still going strong. But I think we're going to talk a little bit about Ilhan Omar tomorrow night and what's actually happening in Minnesota. So I will see you tomorrow.